back for another intense game. Tonight we have a Midgard game between the Lords of Ulster and Elysian beings. Join with me on the desk is Double A, and later on in the casting will be Maya the Fae and Pest News. And
How's,
for the first man, we are seeing a Clint Eastwood is what I'm gonna call it. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Double A, what do you think about that band?
I think it's a solid ban. There's definitely she's got some decent poke. Even the objective playing around that, being able to kind of see everyone and then being able to poke from a wall is super valuable. And she can just chunk people, and you can't really do anything about it. So I think it's a pretty decent pickup.
Bastet, Soul, and a Atlas have made it on here. All three of them are, still proving to be pretty good, pretty annoying. And Thoth, of course, my opinion, the best mid laner in the game right now. Double A, how do you feel about these bands so far?
Yeah, I think you're right about Thoth. I mean, it's definitely something that you see a lot right now. The same kind of thing. You're able to poke from a distance as long as you play it smart, and being able to um, sorry, lost my train of thought there. But yeah, being able to poke and hitting those skill shots and doing so much damage, it's really beneficial for sure.
Right on. So Colin, we haven't been seeing him a whole lot in the solo lane lately, but I don't think he's bad. I just think his items are not the best right now. But this Runeforge hammer and stuff, he might actually be pretty decent. Well, at least on paper. Do you have any comments, Double A, or
Yeah,
we
I
just
think
waiting for the next pick?
yeah, we're gonna throw it to a quick beat right back, at least for the screen. We can keep talking here, but yeah, I think he's definitely something that's good. Not as good. You don't see him as often nowadays, but still a decent pickup. And when he does hit that rage form, it's definitely pretty scary. Don't really want to take a fight. It's pretty decent in the lane, but so yeah, something you don't see as often.
True, true. I think definitely just haven't seen him lately. That's a big factor.
All right, and we did have the teams mixed up there. They didn't choose the right side when they joined the match here, but
Oh no.
it is fixed now, so that is to call in 4 Elysian beings. Um, but
Oh. Tisk tisk tisk. It's just technical difficulties, folks. Are bad.
yeah, what do you think of this Scylla pickup?
Well, Chair Force is he is a Scylla man. Let me tell you, he likes his Scylla, and honestly, probably one of his better picks. I don't dislike it at all. I think it's worked for him pretty good.
True, yeah, they should look at the schedule more often. I agree with you, J250. But we are going to see that Sobek and Apollo locked in, 4 Elysian beings. Sobek, some I really like. Something, again, you don't see it as often anymore, but something that can be super valuable if you're able to hit those skill shots. Getting a pluck off and being able to kind of single target somebody is really valuable, and I hope to see Elysian take advantage of that.
And the global presence of Apollo is just always hard to beat. I mean, and honestly, he's pretty. I like him into the Charbadius. I feel like that's a pretty good little matchup for him.
Sure, for sure. What do you think about this Fender pickup?
Um, well, I think Fenner's in a pretty decent spot right now. The jungles are building kind of hybrid, so I feel like that would be very good for the situation. And yeah, I think that's a pretty good pickup. To be honest with you, it's my viewer is kind of delayed a little bit, so.
Awesome. Yeah, we are going to see an Wheelix ban as well as an Arachne ban. Thoughts about this Arachne ban?
It's got to just be like a flavor of the week. They've probably scrimmaged Lords of Ulster and their jungle has went Arachne. Maybe they're thinking that's a Fenrir support, but or maybe they just don't want to pass the ban, but they want to just kind of pass the ban. You know what I mean? So just choosing one of those in the A, so you don't have to scroll down and choose something.
I hope so. But these bans are going pretty quick. But an Agni ban as well. That's
Of
something you see
course,
a lot.
Agni very strong as well. Him and Thoth definitely to your top mids right now, in my opinion. And our long Shin. Another good kind of jungle pick if they are still thinking that's a Fenrir support. And it could be, not saying it's not, it's definitely not ruled itself out yet. But with that Ravana pickup, that definitely is telling us that it is a Fenrir support.
Yeah, and something aggressive supports we've seen a lot in the league lately, so something that not super surprised about.
Right.
This pick up as well.
Nemesis pickup. Yeah. Haven't seen a lot of her, but I don't see why she wouldn't be good right now. She works good with all kinds of different builds, and Persephone, of course, that ult is always as a good just team fight ult and annoying, and probably for the most part, Persephone can kind of tolerate Scylla's poking actions. And then they pick the Cthulhu into Nemesis. I don't know if that's a smart move. Well, what do you think, Double A?
I don't mind it, but definitely gonna be. I mean, if there's one way to use Nemesis ult, it's definitely gonna be on a Cthulhu. It just kind of ruins everything about his kit, and for sure is something that is a little iffy into this comp. But I think
Yeah.
that'll wrap up picks and bans. We'll go ahead and throw it to a break, and after that, we'll get you with the casters and get that game going for you guys. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, Maya the Fae here with Pest News, and we are here with Elysian beings and Lord off in.
She's having some issues. Looks
Great.
like they're doing the traditional starts over here and on the chaos side as well. Are you good now?
Hopefully I'm good now. All right, can you hear me a little bit better now?
Yep.
All right. Hopefully my Discord does not continue to be cursed. All right, duo lane going to meet their minion wave and each other. Let's see what we got here.
I did talk to Hotman before the game, and he does say he loves these aggressive styles.
Well, aggressive styles of play are what we love to see and so I'm seeing some action over in the mid lane as the jungle is. And jungle dipping off for the back camps. Oh, and this Apollo looks like he's in trouble, heading back toward the tower, getting away for the moment. So,
I would just like to point out, it looks like this Kukulin has opted to not go with the teleport, and he's gone into the blink, which is interesting to me, especially with this new teleport.
I agree, that is an interesting start. Maybe that's something that does seem to work better for him. Fenrir with a Brutalize, and a Sobek pluck into the tower. And the Elysian beings have first blood with that Sobek kill.
Looks like that start didn't work out this time, but you are at tower line against the Sobek.
Yeah, that's a bit of a dangerous play there, because if Sobek gets on you into a tower, that's a bit of a noof for you there.
Yeah, especially with a Fenrir, since you are pretty predictable where you are going to be when you are brutalizing somebody.
Absolutely. Like if you aren't able to cancel that brutalize in time and you're up too far, that's a very dangerous play. Nemesis having to use the dash to get away from an enemy engagement. Scylla crushing down. A little bit of action going here. Persephone having to dash back from the engagement. More action going on in the duo lane. Sobek looking like he's in trouble. And the Fenrir Brutalize getting the Sobek instead this time.
There we are. The aggressive start going off, but here goes Apollo. Wow.
Apollo a little farther up than he probably wants to be at this point. Apollo is in danger. The Brutalize going off again, and the Fenrir gets the kill.
Yeah, I don't know about that dash, and that might have been a little bit.
Unfortunately not. That was bad timing on that dash. With losing your support and kind of low in mana, that's unfortunate for the carry on the Elysian being side.
I think he probably thought he had a little bit more mana and could get off the number 1 ability and try to see how much damage he could get down on both of them, as they were both pretty low, so I see what he was trying to do.
I absolutely agree with that. That's something you want to try to do. You want to try sometimes you kind of tunnel a little bit there, and you want to really get after it, but unfortunately just didn't work out in his favor. Oh, Kukulin going after the Cthulhu with an ult there. Oh, Cthulhu is able to dash away back into his own tower, and Cuchulain's rage is down. Going for the Totem of Ku.
That
The
is
team
one.
would be happy for that mana.
That is one thing you're going to notice in this matchup. Cthulhu, especially right now, loses a lot of pressure, and this Cuchulain loves to get that pressure.
No, absolutely. Cuchulain, even though he's not as, even though a lot of people say he's not currently meta right now with how the items work out, he is still your traditional lane bully. A lot of pressure, and that's.
Yeah, and he's starting to become more meta as Bluestone allows him to get that clear back, and now that Bluestone is stronger, he is starting to move closer to meta, even though he isn't quite there yet.
I'm excited to see some more possible Cuchulain pickups again, so I want to see here. Oh, having a little bit of pressure here.
I feel like that's a hint for our team.
Oh, and the Fenrir is ulting over in the Apollo. Oh, the Charybdis is ulting as well. Charybdis misses her ultimate. Apollo trying to get away from that engagement. Sobek trying to zone, make sure that his partner does not get taken out. Just the usual dual lane dance over here.
Mm-hmm. And that is one difficulty of the Charybdis. Ult is... You're not going to hit too many of them.
No, unless you know how to... Unless you can predict the future, basically. Exactly where... It is a little bit on the difficult side.
Even watching the SPL finals, that one of the more mechanically gifted carries was missing most of them. This is going to allow them to get pressure, though, and try to move on to this purple.
Yep, the Lords of Ulster duo lane is pressuring their purple buff. And Sobek is trying to push them off of it. Apollo is looking to ult in. Oh, and the Nemesis is looking into ult in as well. And Lords of Ulster is ulting away. Oh, the Persephone ults in. This Fenrir's looking to be in trouble here. It's a lot of abilities being cast here. Sobek touch. Oh, and the mid. Oh, both mids getting a kill here from each side. Still is looking to dash away. Looking to disengage there. Great abilities cast by both of those mid laners. Great engagement from both sides.
So that is going to favor Lords of Ulster on this one.
That was a hairy purple buff.
Very eventful one, and it's still up.
That's that purple buff's probably sweating more than the players are.
8-man commitment on it. And this Nemesis is pathing really aggressively, but I don't know what they're going to get through it.
Looking at the Cthulhu, but the Cthulhu being in the tower, that's not necessarily something to look at. I mean, can definitely go for the farm for sure, try to get that pressure out of the way.
She did walk over a ward on her way, so that Cthulhu didn't know she was there. But I do like the pickup of a Nemesis going into this Cthulhu. Cthulhu's biggest thing is he goes into ult, really hard to kill, and really annoying to get off.
Getting some setup. Oh, Fenrir trying to go into Persephone, but has to cancel his Brutalize. Don't want to get more tower poke again. Sobek plucks the Scylla. Persephone ult into the middle. The Scylla has to beads out. Both teams dancing here. Fenrir's ultimate up, plucking the Sobek back to his team. Scylla's crush goes down, and Sobek is able to dash away.
I think he was really wanting that Nemesis. He was pathing towards him.
Oh, absolutely. He just kind of wanted to grab whoever he could get. I mean, sometimes it's hard to really be able to grab exactly who you want with that cone.
Yeah, especially if they're in minions and all that, it gets kind of annoying.
Back to the solo lanes, just kind of duking it out over here. Cuchulain doing Cuchulain things, just being a lane bully. Apollo looking a little bit in trouble over here. Charybdis just wanting him to stay in his tower.
This is one of the weaknesses of the Cuchulain without the teleport, is that he did have a level and a half lead at one point. But this Cthulhu was just back into the game because he didn't get it, and he took a second to get back to lane and lost away.
Absolutely, like that's the biggest thing. Like some people, like I can understand like where he's still kind of thinking of last season a little bit, where teleport, it was very taboo to want to get teleport as often if you're more in a competitive setting, but the new persistent teleport is much more of a viable pickup. Oh, this Apollo's in danger here. Oh, and he gets taken out by Indigo.
Yeah, they need to start dealing with this dual lane. There is going to be so much pressure coming mid-game. They're going to be pushing that mid lane pretty hard soon.
Elysian beings look like they might be wanting to set up for a possible Gold Fury. They look like they're warding up, getting some jungle pressure as well.
Without Apollo down, though, I don't think they have much of a realistic shot at it. I think they're more just
they're looking around, probably trying to see whatever team members they could find on the Ulster side. And it's good to try and posture as early as you can, because I mean, these objectives are what you need to be getting.
Looking at the levels across the board, Lords of Ulster have a pretty good handle on this. Their carry is getting all the farm that they could want.
Yeah, unfortunately, Apollo is dipping a little far behind with that, and that's painful to see, especially when you want someone with the global ultimate. Oh, this Nemesis looking a little bit in danger, but the Cuchulain's trying to stop. Oh, here's a big team fight engagement coming in. Still a crush in Cthulhu ultimate. The Cuchulain goes down. Still ultimate coming in. Still, unfortunately, misses her ultimate, but Cthulhu's still barraging them.
That
the rest
was
of the teammates and
all commitment.
Ooh, that was a painful fight for the Elysian beings. They're gonna lose a lot of farm off of that engagement because they had to get completely pushed out of that fight. They lost their Cuchulain from that, and they had to be completely pushed out of that engagement. So I think the Lords of Ulster, if they really want to here, should probably start setting up for a look at Gold Fury.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, that Charybdis is looking like she's in danger. She's by her. Oh, nope. She's got. Oh. Well, it looks like she was by herself, but no, she is ever far.
Oh, she just got out there. I'm not gonna lie, in that last team fight, I did not like the Cthulhu ult, as it really didn't affect the kill. And could have held it for a little bit longer to get a little bit more pressure on their backline and maybe exert for a kill, or at least force them to back. With the way they went was he ulted for the kill on the Cuchulain, and the Cuchulain was already dead, basically.
I can definitely agree with that. That's, I mean, the thing that seemed to continue to do is basically just push them out there and not do much of anything else there. And it looks like the Elysian beings are going to pick up the Pyromancer for free.
Yeah.
And the look at the
massive XP lead. The gold lead is still, you can recover from that, but that XP lead is just absolutely nasty at this time.
Fenrir, Fenrir ult, Persephone ult are being thrown everywhere. Very hectic. Another Cthulhu ult, Robin ult into the back line, and the Nemesis goes down. Abilities being thrown everywhere. Frames kind of dropping for me a little bit.
Yeah. There is that. That was a really good pickup by the Apollo. He got something out of that, but he might just have to get out right now. Although he does stop a lot of their objective push, even though I still think they get Gold Fury off of this. Now, at least you don't lose 100%. You get rid of that. Robin, he doesn't get too far ahead of that.
Yeah, after that push, that definitely looks like a free Fury. Yep. And there they have that. That was a very hectic team fight there.
But it allows this Nemesis to catch up to the Robin. Now, across the board, you don't like it, but that is one thing it allows. One positive to take on from Elysian Beings' point of view.
Absolutely.
And they need all the positives they can get at this point. They're massively down in gold now. If I can see that chart again, I bet you it's over. It's got to be over 3,000 now, yeah. That's when it's starting to get into a rough territory. 13 minutes in, 3,000 gold. That's half an item. I mean, 1 tier of an item for everybody on the map.
Oh, the Cocoon's looking in danger over in the solo lane. Robin still being chased into his T1 tower, and he is taken out in his tower by.
It looks like he was trying to go for that singular XP camp up there and just got caught out. Not enough wardage for
The ward coverage is really kind of with. I mean, when you're down on gold, and I mean, which sometimes it's really like it. Sometimes you call an excuse for yourselves. Like, I know I tend to do it myself. I mean, I can't as a support. I usually make sure I get myself my my handy dandy ward chalice, but you need to make sure you get yourself your wards, get your sentries out, and unfortunately the jungle goes down.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Without
Persephone ult has been thrown out as well. Oh,
that feels
rough
bad.
to see it.
We're only 15 seconds away from being up.
Oh, when your relics are so close and you think you can get out, but no. What's really feels bad is when your relic timer is on 0, and it's like, why is my relic timer on 0?
I think it is actually interesting to see him going into this Jotun's Wrath. Just because I don't know if I would go with that on Nemesis. I think I'd go with something more tanky, especially when you're from behind. Like a Berserker Shield, I think, works really well in the jungle right now. Especially on those auto-based assassins.
Absolutely. There's been some good hybrid builds out there for, especially when you're ahead or behind. They can help. Like, they just keep you safe in that jungle, especially when you're getting ran at constantly.
Mm. And if people have watched our previous stream, they know our team likes a tanky jungle. Although I am liking the Robin build, I don't know if he needed the glyph so early, but it does give him that extra 1v1 capability, so.
Absolutely. It does give him that lifesteal and that movement when that, but it does prevent him from being able to get another item so early, but I mean, more power to him if that works for him. Sobek getting in danger, having to ult out of that T2 tower. Robin ult coming down. Persephone in trouble. Scylla ult down. The Charybdis ult down as well. Scylla missed on the second ult proc. Cthulhu ulting in. The Nemesis having to dash out of danger. Sobek in trouble. Sobek having to dash. Nemesis goes down. Sobek getting knocked up. Sobek goes down to the team. It's three men down on Elysian being side, and it looks like the Apollo is able to get away. As the Apollo and the Cocolin are both able to get away, but unfortunately the rest of the team was not so lucky.
Yeah, this is just a case of we're behind. We don't got the items that they do. They are bullying us at this point, and I just honestly at this point you just need to get the farm. I don't know if you can even try to fight them. They're
You need to
pushing
get the farm. You need to get the ward coverage. You just need to be and play safe. It's rough to see, but hey, just got to keep going. Got to keep fighting.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also like when you're fighting up too far, like, got to be careful if you're fighting up too far. It puts you out of position.
The way I like to look at it is you can only go up to level 20, and there's only so many items you can build in the game.
This is very true. So I mean, if you can just hold out to that, hey, you're getting something.
Square.
That's win.
And I don't know about this, but I want to hear your idea about it.
Okay.
I don't know if they should have full committed. I think they might have just let that tower go and maybe had somebody split push that right lane, get a tower, maybe pressure the tier 2 just to see, and then have 4 people commit to the defense, because at least then you're getting something. In that fight, they got nothing. They just got further behind. Didn't get any gold, didn't get any XP. So
that would have definitely been a bigger benefit for sure. And I think the biggest problem here is that they were uncertain of what all was happening. I mean, when you don't have the ward coverage and you don't know. Oh, Apollo looking to possibly try and steal the Gold Fury from the Lords of Ulster. And he does indeed secure it. Oh, he's in danger now, though. The Fenrir does not like him. OB. Another team fight on our hands, and Nemesis goes down, and the Apollo goes down. Oh man, that is a rough-looking team fight for Elysian beings.
At least they did get something.
Oh, they did get something good out of it. Oh, and that was the Oni Fury. That was a good, and that was probably the best Fury they could have gotten at this point with them being behind. So hopefully those minions will be able to do them some good things.
Keep your eye on that left lane, see if those minions push up and try to get this tower.
Especially with them, they're gonna be heading for fight, and they'll possibly be posturing for Fire Giant after the fight. They're low, but so they'll probably be looking to back and then head for Fire Giant, most likely.
Yeah, I think the only person that can pressure out this one will be the Kukulkan. Anyone else, I would actually suggest get farm, get as much XP.
No, absolutely. There's so many. There's the level differences on everyone. I mean, luckily Apollo has caught up to Charybdis, which we were seeing about a 2-3 level difference earlier on in the game, and now he and Kukulkan are on level with their lane partners, and everyone else seems to be suffering greatly.
I would also like to point out he went into the Shadow Steel Shuriken into his build to get that anti-heal that way.
That's an interesting pickup. You don't see that as often, but if that does work for his builds, that's a good pickup for him to have.
That's exactly what I'm wondering. I'm wondering how good of a pickup it is.
You don't see that as often.
If this boat goes into a... Oh, I'm forgetting the name of the item, but...
talking about Atalantis?
No, the penetration.
Ichabod?
No, Ichabod's the power-based one.
Oh.
But yeah.
Oh, then. We're just going to talk about all the bows.
Yeah,
oh, Silver Branch.
Yeah, Silver Branch bow.
It's fine. We're just going to go through all the... It's fine. We're two tank mains talking about bows. It's fine.
But if it goes into this Silver Branch and then goes into a Deathbringer, I think it might be worth it to get that anti-heal online. But if you don't get Deathbringer, I just don't see the value for it.
Okay. Oh, this Fenrir is looking to ult. He's looking to grab one of the squishies in the back line. Persephone ulting. Try and keep the teammates there and the enemy team there. Charybdis ulting as well. Cthulhu ulting the back line. Make some space. Robin ult in. Robin ults and kills the Apollo. Cthulhu is able to kill the Nemesis.
I will give this Kukulkan.
Charybdis gets it secure. Oh my goodness.
This Kukulkan created so much space.
He did.
Work out. There was 3 of them dealing with the Kukulkan. He died to create space so that Persephone, in all honesty, could live. But
that was a fantastic effort. Absolutely, I have to 100% give him credit.
Although
Scylla, you're a little bit in danger there. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh, that's the carry's looking a little bit peckish from that fire giant, but luckily for them, they did not succumb to the flames. But whew, that would be quite sad for the Lords of Ulster if their mid and carry did not have their fire giant after that very intense team fight up in the Dungle.
Dungle?
Dungle? Oh well, I can't words. It's fine. This is gonna be another meme, isn't it?
It's never gonna be as bad as Aeneas, though. I don't think so. But this is the time where you need to be pressuring these lanes. Like, they all backed, they all backed. If they
You're trying to farm up as much as you can now at this point. You need to be careful about it, you need to ward, but you need to pressure what you can, get what ground you can. Luckily it's not EFG yet, so they're not gonna insta-kill you as hard.
If I'm being honest right here, you already know 4 of them are in that left jungle. You have to have the wardage or at least see them in lane.
Absolutely. You have to be making sure you're making those call outs every second you see somebody.
I would honestly try sending either this Persephone or this Apollo into the right lane. Get that farm. They have a massive stack of minions right there. It's going to be pushing, and it's on your side still for right now.
Like they need to you need to have your carries be hitting their level 20 so they can start getting their builds fully online because they need that power spike.
Yeah, I don't know why they're 5-man grouping already, especially when the wave is so close to mid tower. They're clearly not going to push the Phoenix. This is just not the time. They're going to be clearing.
No, they're gonna be clearing towers and going for a full sweep that way, clearing what jungle they can, making sure they're starving them a farm. That's what they want right now at this point. Then they're going for fury. Like they're just clearing up the map, making sure they control everything.
And then they're just. I think the other team might be just playing into that game plan because they're not rotating to any of these farm that they can get, and they're a little late to this pyro. I think they have to drop it. Yeah, there we are.
Yep, because you can't hesitate in those situations. Want to get some kind of XP farm, you need to make sure that you go out and get it. And now they're gonna suffer for it. Oh, so that gets ulted by the Fenrir, and the Charybdis picks him up. I keep wanting to say Indigo because I don't want to, because Charybdis doesn't roll off the tongue.
Oh, and you know Indigo does.
And Indigo's just easier for me to say, and I know a few of these people.
I did practice with Lords of Ulster at one time, so I know that team a little bit better. But I talked with Jedi.
Oh, and the Fenrir is brutalizing into the going after the Apollo. Does not get him at this time, and gonna need to group up and try to make sure they heal up from look for a defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're wanting to sweep this last tower so they can start going. Now is the time where they're going to need to start grouping up to defend their phoenixes because the last tower gone. Soon they're going to want to try and start pushing for phoenixes.
Mm-hmm. I think at this point that Lords of Ulster are going to try to get some items, group up to this pyro, and then try to pressure out the fire giants, make sure that they can even rotate towards it.
Absolutely.
And then they just need to push up. They just took pyro. I think somebody needs to go in that left lane, push up the wave a little bit, try to get that XP, try to get back into this game.
And please ward. I need to see more wards. They need more vision when you're. It's the anxiety is real.
I've seen a few wards low, but I think they need that sentry ward because I can see a few wards on top.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for the next team fight where someone gets chomped by a Fenrir.
Yeah, and this Fenrir pick is paying dividends, even though he did kind of early.
He got to say hi to a tower up close and personal for a first blood, but he's been absolutely. This is gonna be a terrible pun, and everyone's gonna hate me. But he's been brutalizing the competition from here on out.
And I don't want to say he's played flawlessly, because clearly that's not something we're looking for, but he has played about as good as you can get.
Oh, and the Robin gets a pick on the Apollo. Please, people, ward. Oh, my heart.
I don't know how bad of an idea that was.
A split push with an Apollo is a split push with an Apollo is great. Is a great idea. But if you need to be able to see them coming at you first, so you can try to get out with your ultimate.
Yeah, but I did like the idea of it. He got the wave all the way up there. The camper showed that left Phoenix without taking it. So the timing was pretty bad because FG's up.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate timing because they couldn't contest now for the FG at all because your carry's gone. Now you're kind of pinched.
Mm-hmm. And then I just want to throw this idea out here. If they don't pressure out this left Phoenix, does he just go left lane and try to get their Phoenix as they're sieging?
I mean,
it'd be interesting.
It would be interesting. Like I like spicy plays. I want to see some spicy plays.
And he's one of those characters that could do it and then somehow get back into the team fight fast enough to not lose game.
Absolutely, because I mean that's the beauty of an Apollo pick. Absolutely. Because he's like, but the Lords of Ulster say, no, we don't like you pushing up this wave. We are going to make sure that gets pushed back to your side because we went Fire Giant and we want to make sure it is pushed as far away from your side.
And look exactly, I love what this Apollo's doing. He sees all of them over there. Guess where he is?
That, and he's on the exact opposite side. Not there
Mhm.
for the defense, but I mean, if he can get that tower and try to sneak that Phoenix, then that's a great possible play. Hopefully everyone else is able to get some good defense in and try to prepare for this fight. They do not have EFG, but we're gonna see what happens with this fight. Oh, that Phoenix is going down hard. Oh, and the Fenrir is gets his ult off. Oh my goodness! And the Robin takes out the Koholin, and and everyone has to retreat back to the Titan. Like you just.
Okay, you waited. Just commit for the Phoenix, buddy.
Oh, commit! Just take it out. Get something.
Okay. Some has to back here, I think.
Oh, now he has to. Yep. There it goes.
I think.
Wow, what a game! What a game for Lords of Ulster. Gotcha.
I did like some of the spicy plays they were doing. That Kukulin was creating space when he needed to. It was just his team was a little too far behind. The Kukulin and Cthulhu were creating so much space, and it just ended up being who does more damage.
Absolutely, it's there was some great setup, great potential. I really liked the picks they had for sure. Like it was. There was some absolutely wonderful potential with the roster that they chose for this team. It just didn't pan out the way that they definitely hoped for, and it just was able to go more on the side of Lords of Ulster for sure.
It just shows you how dominant of a game that Charybdis had. 19,000 damage. Next highest was 14.
Absolutely, that's she throws daggers very fast. Daggers go burr.
And we'll be
right back.
Welcome back, everyone. Of course, we're going to go through the stats now. It's me, Cowboy076, and of course, Double the A on the booth. So, Double, pretty rough game for Elysian Beings, but we did see some good plays. I mean, their mid, the Salty Dingus, he played as good as he could. Honestly, it's just I'm gonna give it to Elysian Beings here. They're playing with a sub, and not saying that Axis or Obama X is a bad sub, but it throws off your team, of course, your team vibes. But what do you think about it? I mean, obviously, Chair Force, Warm Apple Pie, and Indigo all going undying this game. And, well, actually, only 3 deaths for the entire team. I mean, they just popped off. What do you have to say, Double A?
Yeah, I think when you don't have that full team here, obviously you're not going to play as well as you normally would. But to Axis's credit, he was all around the map. He was doing a pretty decent job stealing some farm, but when it came to the kill department, he wasn't. I mean, honestly, not a whole lot of people on his team were having a great time. But yeah, I think that Elysian Beings just got this. They had this game get snowballed away from them. They really just kind of got lost, early game and just couldn't recover afterwards. And when you're playing picks like even a Sobek and these kind of more aggressive supports, you need to be able to kind of get that pressure, and it just didn't work out for him this time. But credit to Lords of Ulster. They did a great job. Flamio, on the other hand, played in a Fenrir, did a great job applying that pressure and really capitalizing that early game. Great job by Underclass Hero in jungle, really kind of rotating around, really supporting his other team members. And I think all in all, it was a great effort by Lords of Ulster. I mean, there's not really one player I can say that was the MVP of this game. Everyone played awesome.
Yeah, I got to agree with you tenfold. I mean, they just executed a whole lot better than Elysian Beings did. And, of course, we said that in the pregame. We said if they wanted to win, they were going to have to execute perfectly. And I'm sorry, chat, we don't have face cams for the desk yet, but when we do, I will be wearing a white tuxedo for y'all.
Oh boy, double A face reveal.
But yes, yeah, double A face reveal. But yeah, no, they executed well, and I mean, like I said, I wasn't throwing shade, as the kids say, at Obama X. He was definitely in there. I mean, it was just one of those games. They just kind of, you hate to say it, but they got team diff that game. I mean, that's all it was. But they did some things well, and hopefully they can turn it around. We'll see an exciting 3-game set.
Yeah, that's me with the snake on my face. That's the face reveal right there. And
And
Cowboy's
no,
actually a penguin, but
JT, it is not 4 chuggas.
it's
Okay, it is
six.
5.
It's six. No,
Chugga,
5. Why?
chugga,
You're gonna go.
chugga, choo choo. That's 5
No,
right
it's
there.
6. It's 6. Whatever. But
Double A is a chungus, not a chugga. There's a difference.
yeah, whatever. But God. Yeah, that's the real important thing. But yeah, I think that'll wrap up our little recap here, and we'll throw it to be right back just for a quick second, then we'll get right into picks and bans for you guys. So
Stay tuned, folks. Folks, we're back in the picking bands now. Of course, Double A with me here again. Waiting for first band.
Alrighty, and we are on the right side this time, so thing is well and good. There's our first band. What do we think immediately of this Bass Step band? All right, that's it.
Bastet's pretty strong. Definitely, definitely a good band here. I don't dislike that one at all. She's very annoying. And we have a Cleo band as well. Cleo's just a very powerful jungle. Just can throw a lot of damage for no good reason.
Sure.
But what do you?
We're gonna go ahead and see a Kalina band, or we are gonna see a Kalina band. We're gonna see a Charybdis band as well. Did pretty decent for the other side. That's gonna be a respect band against Lords of Ulster, so that's a pretty smart play on their part.
Yeah, that Charybdis was just doing a whole lot of damage. I don't I enjoy that band a lot. That's definitely a step in the right direction for Elysian beings.
Soul band, they don't want to give Soul over. Pretty strong right now, pretty decent. So pretty, never kind of out of the meta for being a pick. So also a pretty decent band. Looks like we're gonna wrap our bands up with a Fenrir band as well. What do we think about that?
Yeah, I mean that Dill Lane, they definitely were the kindling that started the fire. That was the explosion that definitely put Ulster way far ahead. That's definitely a very good start, I think. Definitely, it'll be now about the picks now.
We are gonna see Atlas locked in. I think that's our first time on stream that we're gonna see an Atlas being played. So Flamio Hotman probably gonna grab that in the support role. It's a pretty crazy pickup. What do you think about that, Mr. Cowboy?
Atlas is very good. He's kind of like a Fenrir if Fenrir was completely different kid and a guardian, but he likes to definitely run at you and play in your face like that. So I definitely enjoy that.
We're gonna see, that Ganesha pickup as well. One of your favorite picks. Anything you
Yes,
want to tell us about
Ganesha.
that?
Oh yeah, Ganesha. He's going to be good into Atlas. Atlas wants to get in your face and use abilities. Ganesha's just going to ohm it out. Just going full electrician. Check the ohms. The Najah is a little different, but hey, it can be executed very well, and it's kind of reminiscent of some EU type plays, which of course their sub is from the EU. So I see it pretty, standard looking picks. Oh no, though, that could spell trouble.
Yeah, we are gonna see a Thoth hover. Thoth, just like we talked about, has a great poke. It is. I know you can't see it, but it is Chair Force hovering that the mid player for Lords of Ulster. So it's gonna be his pickup most likely. And yeah, something that's crazy good right now. And with an Atlas, that's a scary team. I mean, that's a really scary team.
I definitely agree. But I will say that, and I haven't seen it lately, but to Thoth was not one of Chair's better picks. Now he's probably gotten a lot better since then, but we'll have to just wait and see for that.
Sure, still being hovered. Not, I guess we're not sure about this pick, but uh, oh, and he's gonna switch. There was a slight hover. I'll keep it back on Thoth hover, but he did switch to Morgan Le Fay for a quick second there. It looks like he will be locking in that Thoth.
This good. I'm not gonna bash that pick or him. I just know you have to execute well on Thoth and a Sun Wukong, someone else we don't see a whole lot of. But we've seen some unused solo laners in this meta currently. Two of them tonight with Cthulhu and the Cullen. So I'm sure some Wukong can execute.
Yeah, and looks like while we're talking here, either servers went down or there was an issue with the match because at least I think my Smite is down. So we'll go ahead and figure out what's going on here, and we'll be right back.
Hey, folks, we're back again. And let me tell you, sorry about the difficulties. As always, we love to get smited here on Animosity Smite as well as all the other Smite entertainers do. Where were we, Double A? We had Atlas, Nazan, Ganesh. I don't remember if there was anything else at the moment or not, but oh yes, of course the Thoth pick and the Sun Wukong. That's right. Thoth very strong, as we said. Haven't ever seen Chair Force necessarily use it, so that'll be interesting. Sun Wukong. Well, we don't really know a whole lot about Sun Wukong. Haven't seen him a lot lately. And an Odin pick. Now I'm a big fan of this pick, Double A. This is one of my favorite characters in the game. Just a big ring of thorns and be annoying. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think Odin's something that used to be really good, and then it kind of fell out of meta a little bit. But I still think he's still really strong, and honestly, under an underrated pick nowadays. And still having to dedicate an item potentially to get through his wall as well is something that a lot of people don't consider. And just making that support pick up that instead of something that could be more beneficial is also really important. So I do like this pick a lot for this team as well.
Yes, and of course all the shields just make him really hard and unkillable. We have an Apollo and a Chernobog ban. We just don't want no global ultimates. And you know what? That's probably pretty smart. Both teams seem to like to do a little split pushing. Might as well minimize that the best we can. And the Ravana ban for Lords of Ulster, I like that. And the Agni ban, of course, just because Agni is super strong right now.
Yeah, we are going to see that Ravana ban that's going to be respect ban from last game. We did see, I believe, Warm Apple Pie. Is that? Or no, I'm sorry, that's a solo laner. Underclass Hero, I should say, on that pick, and did really well. Second most damage on his team, did really great rotating, supporting all those lanes. So definitely getting him off that pick is going to be great for Elysian beings.
Yes, I definitely agree. Cernanos, kind of a different kind of pickup, but I've seen him a lot more lately. Oh, and the Arachne did get picked up. I guess Lords of Ulster is going to go through with it. Honestly, this Arachnid, screw the two hunter picks. This Arachne now, Double A. This is something that needs to be executed very well. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, an Arachne pickup, something that's pure early game, but if you can get it going, you'll snowball so hard, and she's even better nowadays. You can pick up Golden Blade as well, which your farm just goes off the charts. But yeah, she's a great god right now. The snowball is insane, and there's a reason that she has some of the highest win rates in these lower levels. So seeing her in Midgard here is going to be pretty crazy in my mind, and I think that's the first time we've seen her in a long time as well.
Yeah, I don't even know if she was played more than maybe one game in the SPL this past year. So the fact that we're seeing her, I mean, like I said, I'm ready to see what kind of wild strategy they have with her and a Kronos.
Yeah,
Okay, this is a very high executing team for Elysian beings, which we said that about Lords of Ulster last game, and they pulled through. So there we go. I think this is the team Elysian has that's going to make a comeback and win this round.
Yeah, maybe even comfort picks. Chrono's not something you're going to see very often, but if it's something you can play, and I think the Salty Dingus here in the loading screen has leave 6 stars on him, 5, 6 stars. So it's like something he's comfortable with, and for sure, if you're losing, go to something you're comfortable with and just see if it works. And that's I think what they're going to do here. But like I said, we are on the loading screen, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it to a Be Right Back screen, and we'll get the game started for you shortly. See ya.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. Maya the Fae here, back with past news for Game 2 with Lords of Ulster and Elysian Beings.
This is looking like an interesting game. I love it every time a Atlas gets in, just because I am ready to see this Atlas team.
Oh, I know, that's Atlas, the bane of my existence sometimes. Like, I keep wanting to do more and more with him, but Atlas just... Oh, and that's it right there. That grab. Oh, and the Arachne early game to so late. Oh, and the Ganesh looking in trouble. Oh, dueling. Lots of action here happening in this game already.
And it's looking like the Lords of Ulster are starting off right where they left off.
Oh, the Nausea gives a sash onto the Thoth. He's out of it and dash back, but the Arachne comes back and grabs the Nausea for the first blood for Lords of Ulster.
I'm not gonna lie, I really like the draft for Lords of Ulster. Outside of the Arachne jungle, I just don't see a weakness. Maybe the Sun Wukong isn't meta, even though Bluestone's coming back in. He's just really annoying to kill, and as a solo
Really
lane,
annoying to kill. I have a soft place for him. I really do. Like having played solo lane when I played solo lane last season, and I have a soft place in my heart for him. I love Wukong. I really do.
And then there's the Odin. I do like the Odin pickup because it's gonna do a lot for him.
That absolutely is. I feel like that's gonna help Elysian Beings a lot in their team fights. I feel like that's gonna be very useful for them.
Yeah, it is a struggle in the lane. But I don't know how much a Sun Wukong really punishes an Odin.
Oh, and
A lot.
Wukong said, "Nope, Odin, get out of my lane. This is my solo."
Yeah. What else can you say? But they might have some mental shake-off to go. After that last game, that was a pretty rough loss.
Yeah, sometimes you really do have to check those off. Like I can absolutely understand that when it's that much of a difference. Like you feel like how to come up against that, but you just gotta try and reboot yourselves and go from there.
That is a double invade as well for both the purple and blue. They got both of them.
That's a rough start for the XP difference when it comes solo.
They might be playing a little bit too far back just because of the last game. I think they need to...
I think it really got in their heads there. They need to... hopefully they'll be able to shake that off a little bit so that way they don't get too much in their heads on this. Oh, that's a good dash from the Ganesh so he didn't get plucked by the Atlas. That was a good play to get himself out of that range. But the problem here, already seeing that they're already slipping in levels behind in those two lanes.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, the junglers and mid laners and the solo lane seems to be staying on par, but seeing your duo already slipping behind at only just under 4 minutes in the game is kind of rough to see.
Especially with last game, the duo lane won them that game. That was
absolutely. And
going by
with that Charybdis, the Charybdis just was going around running a train.
Yeah, that was a really good showing for Hotman and Indigo. That was...
Oh, looks like Naja's looking to try and run around, but he's able to see that with from his one, able to get out of there without too much issue.
I do like how the Elysian Beings did notice what went right for them last game, and are playing more into something that'll help them, and that is putting their mid on somebody who can absolutely carry your team late game. Cronus is one of those hyper carries that can just solo win you a game if left unchecked. And last game, we didn't talk about it enough during the game, but man, did that mid laner do as much work as humanly
Oh,
possible.
absolutely. That Persephone was really just putting in so much work, and down goes. Sorry, down goes the Wukong from that Odin ult, and down goes the Odin from that counter gank. That's solo lane doing solo lane things. Solo lane not being solo.
Really good work by the Odin.
Oh my goodness! And the dash is across. I think that's a Naja ult down trying to get that Heimdall, but Heimdall using his ult to get out of Naja ult. That's a ultception, if you will.
I don't know if I like how long he's been spending in this dual lane area, especially since clearly they're trying to pressure out this solo lane.
Absolutely, it's losing him a lot of farm. To be able to build up his, so that way he can try to stay, because right now the Arachne is trying to snowball, and Arachne is snowballing, getting some kills, getting jungle clear, and it's working for her.
And not only is it letting them steal his farm, with him being in that dual lane, he is grabbing farm from this Cern, who is
absolutely, and the Cern's going to get farm if they're playing passive and getting more of their farm stolen. Copy.
Oh, this Odin.
Is that better?
I'm fighting now.
Yes, things look a little calmer in the mid lane right now.
But there is a large difference in every role, even in mid lane. This is bled out into the jungle camps being stolen. Mid camp pressure. There's just not a lot going right now.
Everyone's just kind of posturing, kind of not really doing as much in the way of action. And
Jungle is 3 levels down, by the way.
that's unfortunate to see.
3,000 gold lead at 7 minutes. That's
oh my goodness, that is a steep difference so early into the game.
Yeah, you only have one person keeping pace, and that's a solo lane, because he did get that really nice solo kill. I'm just gonna say this, don't know why the Wukong would build the Berserkers. Oh, there we are.
Yep. And the Wukong takes us into the sky with the Naja ult.
And this Arachne just killing everybody in the left area again.
Yeah, the Arachne, they're allowing the Arachne to snowball, and that's if you're able to elaborate an Arachne snowball. That's like if you have to stop her early, otherwise she is able to snowball. Because if she gets stopped, she's not able to do anything. But when she snowballs, she's very, very hard to she's very hard to stop.
Yeah.
Oh, and Indigo is able to take out bacon crumbs in the duo lane.
And then
it's just tough to see.
Someone needs to start prioritizing farm above ganking. I think he's ganking a little bit too much. Right there, he ulted the Sun Wukong, and everyone should know at this point, at the very least, Naja ult is trash. It is absolute trash, especially level 1. It is so bad. It does no damage.
Like early game, like what you want. It's good for if you're in a team fight. It's great for like, hey, I'm gonna grab this person. When they come down, go on them. You utilize it for it's great to utilize for a team fight, so that way you can go onto that person and lock them down. Like it's great for that early on, but until you start getting your damage and crit online, it's not gonna do the damage you need it to, unless that person is almost dead as it is.
And then ulting a Wukong.
A Wukong who's got natural mitigations and is, that's just an unfortunate attempt.
And
also
also
charging up in the mid lane. She's just kind of posturing, not wanting them to back off of his mid lane. I mean, I know even as a tank, I want to back off when I hear a Thoth ult charging up. I don't like getting hit by that. Oh, Thoth is in trouble, having to dash out, and Beads getting hit by the Odin ult, and
that was a good
a
Odin.
lot of ults going. No, that was a great Odin cage right there.
Oh, that Odin rotated better than. Wow, I wish I rotated like that sometimes.
I wish you did too, Pest.
That was a good.
Oh man, and the dual laners take each other out, and Arachne takes out. And this is just a team fight in the towers already at 10 minutes in. Just brawling and brawling and brawling, and down goes all of the Elysian beings. Oh my goodness, what a team fight early on.
Yeah, they did get the 2 kills out of it, but that is definitely...
Two kills for a deicide is a little bit of an expensive pay, unfortunately.
Yeah, they should have just left that sternness to die, gotten out.
Yeah, sometimes you need to cut your losses. Sometimes you need to call that back and disengage from the fight instead of staying in. That's that was unfortunate.
Tank Robin going for a speed camp on their side of the map?
No. I will absolutely. Oh, and it looks like Lords of Ulster are working on this Pyromancer. The Thoth ult a little early there, but they still are able to secure it.
Yeah.
Beauty of the Thoth ult, one of the best lockdowns for objective secure in the game.
And then the dangerous thing about this Lord of Ulster's team is they got a lot of damage, but they got a lot of area damage. Those leaves coming out from the Heimdall, they are gonna hurt everyone in an area. And the Elysian beings were way too heavily grouped after that kill. They needed to disperse. They needed to get out.
Absolutely, positioning helps. Oh, and is on the rampage again. He just likes having his. That is his side of the map.
Oh.
Solo lane having solo lane fight over here.
I do like this Odin is doing the best he can to keep pace, and he made the most out of what he can do. He did rotate, get that kill. I still am going to be strong on the opinion of the...
Oh, another team fight's getting ready to go down. They're going into tier 1 tower. Thoth has his ultimate charged up. Unfortunately, he misses in the back line. Naja ult going up. Ganesh ult going down. Arachne having to ult out to secure her safety. Just kind of posturing here at this tower. At this point, you might want to disengage just that way you don't take any more casualties.
That was just unfortunate that Cronus square... Oh, I'm sorry, PlayStation player. The Cronus one didn't hit. If that Cronus one hits, they get the kill.
Absolutely. That's that lockdown from that stun. And see over the stat line from the player damage, like Indigo is just on a rampage.
Again.
Again.
Damage in this game. It's surprising to see the buff this low. I'm not gonna lie. Wasn't expecting to see him there.
Little unfortunate for him there. Both of the mid laners not connecting with their abilities with targets. Oh, and the Odin cage goes down. Does not really keep them secured in there. They stay under their tower. They're safe. Disengage. Trying to clear the jungle. Oh, two other of the Elysian team to try and lock the Arachne and Sun Wukong down. Oh, Arachne looking in trouble here. Arachne using her web to be able to speed away.
Sir, I'm not gonna lie, buddy. You might want to go back to your lane and get some farm. You are gonna. I get that Heimdall is a pretty scary guy. But you're too far down. You need to get that XP. Especially right now. Because,
absolutely.
it's not that far behind.
Lords of Ulster have secured Primal Fury, and they're just and another big thing, the objective secure. Getting that objective secure is such a big deal. Cause that, if we could have the gold and XP difference up again, take a look at that real quick. Oh my goodness.
No.
Oh my goodness. I both wanted to and did not want to at the same time. Because I kind of figured, but at the same, oh my goodness.
Look at.
It's painful. Like,
Yeah. I'll give
it's very
credit
painful.
to them, though. They are putting up a fight. They are
Definitely putting up a fight. They're putting in work with fights. Like they're trying. It's good to see that they're being a little bit better about the disengages instead of trying to all in constantly and getting their team completely killed for it, which is good to see. But it's just sometimes you gotta. I think it's still kind of in their heads a little bit, and you're still thinking the same. Oh, I don't know. Are we gonna, that big hovering question mark of, thinking, are we gonna lose this too? But you can't think like that. Oh, it looks like an engage is hovering over in dual lane side of the jungle, and it can Nashville and Atlas ult down, and oh my gosh, those picks up 2 kills.
Oh.
That's a good pickup, and more pickups inside of the Odin ult.
Yeah, they're just pushing up too far at this point. They cannot be going into the other side of the jungle.
Oh, that's
They
unfortunate.
need to stay in their jungle, secure their farm. You're losing neutral farm at this point. You can try to contest it, but
That's really unfortunate when your team is getting killed inside of your own Odin ultimate instead of the other way around. It shows that instead of it being able to be providing the pressure that it needs, it's instead just it's just not. It's just a fancy bunch of spears in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate.
I will say,
Lords of Ulster do secure that pyromancer.
if I am the Elysian beings, I am looking at that Arachnes build right now, and I'm thinking, Hasten Katana, that doesn't add too much. Maybe if you get to late game, that is a thing that you can target. That Arachne all of a sudden will start sliding down.
It's an interesting pickup early on in the build. I mean, later on in a build, like I definitely see it later on in a build. But that's picking up.
Because she does have a slow and a speed buff on her circle.
This is true. I got. Hey,
it's working for him.
I think underclass hero just wants to be extra zoomy.
If he hits this
jump, looking in trouble, but he has Burb. Burb says no. Burb goes Burr.
Yeah, and then he's not too scared.
Atlas grabbing the Kronos. Kronos the Atlas getting himself out of trouble for the moment. Kind of posturing around this mid lane. Need to see a little more in the way of farming here to kind of help themselves out of this predicament they have themselves in. Like seeing too much, but they are wanting to try and that Odin trying to get himself out, but Atlas says no. You're getting danger hugs, buddy.
Danger hugs. But I do like the fact that right now they're just trying to clear up the jungle. You already know you can't really. This Atlas is creating a ton of space, by the way.
Absolutely.
That is just not fair.
I don't blame that Wukong for ulting. That was becoming a very spicy fire giant. That was a very spicy fire giant. It was kind of threw up the heat more than he wanted. But now Ulster has their fire giant, so the Elysian beings need to be a lot more careful. And now Lords of Ulster can kind of go even more around the. Oh my goodness! And another pickup from Lords of Ulster's mid. And he's picking up more of his steam, getting more into his rhythm. We could see and like to see the damage stats. Want to see where it's at with that. That'd be interesting to see. Picking up more. That's looking about right from what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
everyone's definitely picking up a lot more. I mean, Indigo's just saying no one belongs anywhere near my jungle. No one belongs near me.
And again, this is just this just snowballed from the time that they allowed the team to start grabbing the jungle.
Unfortunately, like it's unfortunate because they didn't contest it, they didn't put a fight. They just kind of rolled over and showed their bellies on it. Unfortunately, and here's a free Oni Fury.
Jungler. If you overgank as a jungler, the other jungler will just look at you on the map and go, "Oh, so that means
that means your farm is my farm now."
Yeah. That's the risky run.
Unfortunately, it is a risky run. Like, I mean, if you're able to pull it off, that's fantastic. If you're able to get those kills, that's absolutely great. It's a big risk reward. It really is. Atlas zoning out in this tower. Down goes that tower. They're really pulling out these objectives, and there goes the Chrono speeds. So you know those speeds are down for any of those grabs that you want later on.
With how massive this Atlas, how much space he's creating for everything he's doing,
and this is why we have to always make sure we ban an Atlas, because I don't want that space. It's no, I don't want it.
Especially in Hoffman's hand, like he had them pushed to Phoenix when they were taking fire down.
Oh, I know. He's like, hey, I am a one-man army. I don't want it. that's just what Atlas does. Like when you're really good with it, and hands off 100% to Flamio, because I am not at that level yet. I need more practice. Like, Flamio, teach me, please.
For tips. But well, even if you're just looking at the 7-level lead from the jungler.
Yeah, just that level difference. It's painful. Like having that level difference, like you can't fight into that at all, and it's unfortunate, as you can't. Like and when they take all of your farm, it will just push everything out. Like you can't go into your own jungle. Mm-hmm. Like it's not your jungle anymore. It's theirs. Mm-hmm. Like they do have the wards. I'm seeing that they are having a little bit better ward coverage in their side now than I was seeing in the last game, but it's not doing much. Oh no! Oh, Axis.
On the small bean.
Caught out of position there. Small bean.
This is an easy siege now. Yeah.
That is a siege. Yep. That's a 4v5, and Arachne is actually probably going to try to split push here. It depends on what the play call here is, or they might just try to full push it. It does look like they're going to try to split push.
Although, to be honest, at this point, all Axis can really do is maybe take Atlas up into his ult and stop him from tanking the entire team. And
that would probably be one of the best things to do. Like just remove him from the tank field, just take him out
for a few seconds.
Oh, that was a good pick from the Odin, getting the enemy solo out.
And this just allows them to defend this.
But unfortunately for Elysian beings, their carry is down for the next 40 seconds, so that kind of makes their defense a little bit more difficult.
And
but their Phoenix is still up, so that is a big plus side for them.
Yeah, I don't know what the call was to split push there.
Like honestly, like
5. And
then 45, you could have all in. Oh, some good pickups from Chair Force here.
This shouldn't be a fight, but they should.
Goodness, I don't know why they want to push into that. That's 4 men down on the enemy team. Their carry not there, with you being that low down. That's an unfortunate call. And Kronos ults.
Back.
Oh no. Oh my goodness.
Don't know why they pushed out.
Oh my goodness, that's an unfortunate push. That's an unfortunate push.
They probably saw somebody low and were like, oh yeah, we can get this.
Yeah, I saw a little how far and I thought they were alone. Oh man. And there goes that Phoenix, and there's probably a call from the shot caller to end. They're not gonna end without a fight. I keep on, but that's a deicide. They tried. They tried to delay the inevitable, but down goes the Elysian Beings Titan, and Lords of Ulster have it. 2-0.
I think the thing they can take away from that is just bad fights. You need to pick your fights a little bit better, and keep your jungle in lane. He needs to not stand in lane so long, so then he can secure his own farm. Because they just had so much control over the jungle from level 3.
Absolutely, absolutely, and oh, it was difficult to see that difference. I mean, you just need to secure your farm first. That's something even I've been told as a support. Like, I mean, I can't personally secure a farm. I'm a support. I don't do crap for damage. But making sure I farm up, I keep on level or stay ahead with my enemy support, because keeping with the levels, that way I can actually fight and I can stay in the fight is definitely a very important part of it. As I mean, when you don't have those levels, then you can't even participate in team fights. The team fights don't matter because then they're one-sided.
I will give it to Salty Dingus. Both games, he did keep up with their team and player damage. It's just he didn't have much of the follow-up for it, and their solo lane was creating space, but just dominant showing from Hotman's team.
Absolutely, and gotta hand it to Hotman. For talk about creating space, and in that second game, Hotman Flamio was creating all of the space. He's like, I'm a one-man lane. I create all the space. You see this gigantic cone? Either you are going to run away from it, or I'm taking all of you with me.
This will be a lane to look forward to in the rest of the season. They're a dangerous combo.
Absolutely. That is not something that you wanna. That's not something other teams want to take lightly. That was wonderfully played on Lords of Ulster's side. Very cool played.
The desk after this break. You guys have a good evening.
Absolutely.
Welcome back, everyone. Of course, thank you for joining us. We're just going to kind of go over the stats here. I've lost my stat sheet if that could be pulled back up. But yeah, Double A, what'd you think of this game while we're getting the stats pulled up?
Well, rough game from one side, really good job from the other. We did see Jungle and ADC just kind of hard carrying the game. Really great job to the Heimdallr as well as the Arachne. I mean, the Arachne was probably the biggest menace of the game by far. I think you could honestly tell that by watching, a minute of the game. Underclass Hero doing a great job, rotating all over, doing exactly what you want to do with Arachne. I mean, the snowball was so hard. He got such a level lead and just did really great with that, capitalizing every opportunity he could. So I think, honestly, in my mind, MVP of that game definitely goes Underclass Hero on Arachne.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. For such an unconventional pick, it definitely worked out very well. And honestly, everybody played very well. The Thoth kind of had some low damage. So, we talked about that before. He's definitely a high execute character, but overall their team played very well. Mid for Elysian Beings, he did try to keep up, and I mean, it's just kind of one of those rough games for everyone.
Well, and we did see, for sure. I mean, Elysian did fight back. I think the stats are a lot worse than what actually was proven there. I mean, they had a great defense there at the end. Great Phoenix defense. They were able to stop him and get a few kills off of it, and then they just kind of fell apart in the jungle. I think, honestly, this team can be really good. They just kind of need to clean up their maybe team fight, and they'll be much better, early or later on in the season, I should say.
Yes, I agree. So if you had to choose a MVP Double A, who would you go with?
Well, as I said earlier, I think Arachne is for sure going to be the MVP. I guess as a whole, Underclass, honestly, I'm still going to give it to Underclass. Did a great job. That first game on Ravana still rotated really well. Wasn't as dominant as the second performance, but I think that second performance on Arachne really sealed the deal for me.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. Well, that's really about all from my end. Do you have anything else, Double A?
We'll throw it to a quick be right back, and then we'll see if we can get an interview. If not, I'll be back to end the stream. But regardless, we'll be back in 3 minutes or so.
Hello, folks. We're back again. We got an interview here. We've got Flamio Hotman, the support for Lords of Ulster here. So, Flamio, I'm gonna let Double A start with the questions, and then I'll kind of lead in if I have any.
Of
Sounds
course, you're
good.
gonna make me start with the questions, but nah, we'll go ahead and start with going into game 2 there. You know, Atlas is open. In your mind, is that just a must-have for your
Oh,
game there?
that's an instant lock. He's just so good right now. He does so many things in team fights. His pressure early isn't the greatest, but he gets the job done later in the game.
Yeah, and you know, give credit to yourself as well. I mean, you played really well that early game as well in dual lane. Just kind of wreaked havoc and did awesome. So I think it was a great pickup for your team, and you did them justice for sure.
Thank you.
All right, Flamio, I have a couple questions here. So, first off, Arachne's not necessarily a meta pick. Is that something y'all practice a lot? Because it was banned from y'all in game 1.
I wouldn't say it's something we practice. It's more of like a ganky pick. You know, it's like a weird start to throw them off. Gank solo lane early to put the Odin down. That's for the most reason they picked it, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
Right, right. No, I like that. Another question is, some of your carriers go some aggressive relics. Do you feel that that might bite y'all in the butt in the future? You know, like Blink Scylla, stuff like that, or is that
So
just like
so
a
so so here's the story behind that. I think we were in the right lane going up duo
Huh?
later in the game, and then underclass goes why or what's it called? Chair Force goes, my blink's down, and then underclass goes, why do you have blink? And then, well, it's just chair trolling, and no one knew it until he called out that his blink was down.
fair enough? Fair
And
enough. That's good answer. I just was wondering. I didn't know. You know, I mean,
yeah, we were
obviously,
yelling
if
at
you
him pretty
play like
hard.
someone who's pretty more a lot more aggressive and executive, you know, I could see that being an issue in the future. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
you know, which I know there are doubters that say, you know, because it worked, but you know, just because you skydive and your parachute doesn't fail that time doesn't mean it'll always work. You know.
Did you
yeah,
say?
we were
Let's
not
see.
happy with it.
We got some questions from the chat.
Oh
You
Jesus,
know, someone wants to
bunch of
know.
trolls.
Anonymous is asking who your favorite teammate on your squad is.
No answer. No answer.
Fair enough. You love them all equally. Well,
I love myself the most because I hate my teammates.
that's a little dark. But, all right, well, thank you. That's about all I got. Double, you got any more questions?
Looking at the schedule here, if I can pull it up quickly. Looks like you are.
Should be Band of Brothers we play next.
Yeah, you're gonna be playing Band of Brothers. Any words or game plans going into next week?
I think we're just gonna stick to what we do best, and make them play our game, and just run them over with pure pressure.
Awesome, pucks in deep, right?
Yep.
Alrighty. But no, thanks, man. GG, great game from you guys. Another great showing, and we'll hopefully catch you next week as well.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks, man. But all right, that should wrap up our stream. We will have, I believe, 3 streams throughout the rest of this week here. So we have a stream tomorrow. I also have to pull that up, but we have a stream tomorrow, I believe, at 6:30. That'll be a Vanaheim game, tactically Inting versus VTubers. So that should be a good one. Some big powerhouses going into that game. Saturday we are also gonna have a game, and at 8, and Sunday at 8 as well. So 2 Vanaheim games and a Jotunheim game coming up throughout the rest of the week. So we're gonna be busy. Casters, make sure you sign up for that, by the way. But yeah, make sure you don't miss us tomorrow at 6:30 CST. These are all in CST. 7:30 EST. But yeah, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks as always to all the casters helping us out, and all the staff for moderating, and of course to all the players. And finally, please make sure you check out the Discord in the description, regardless if you're watching this right now or later. But thanks, guys. We really appreciate it, and we will catch you tomorrow at 6:30 CST. See ya.
Come back now, you hear?